Nothing can compare. God, I'm living alone. Your grace is Lord. I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of love, where my heart can find freedom and my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord. I wanna say it again. There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. Nothing can compare. God, all is your presence, Lord. Every day of my life, I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of love, where my heart can fly free and my shame is undone. Your presence, Holy Spirit,
there is only one life. That life is whole, perfect, and complete. That life is my life. That life was a divine light. I, King Granville, speak my word, affirm that this is a great and wonderful day. That we're here by God's grand design. That all of us carry a light that assists us in perceiving divine ideas. And today we know that East Bay Church of Religious Science, Center for Spiritual Living, is a divine idea. A divine idea elevating, educating, and evolving. I'm blessed. The Board of Trustees, our wonderful senior minister, Reverend Celeste Frazier, our licensed practitioner, who hold the light, and all the members of East Bay Church, old and new, that are here this blessed day. I bless all the visitors, and I'm knowing that whatever you need to know, whatever you need to be taken from the service this morning, it is yours now. And it is done already. This blessed service. And so it is.
Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, you are welcome.
covenant. And I think there should be a copy of it under your chair. And I want to say one thing about this covenant. We started with a sacred covenant for a senior minister. And we got it. So anything else we want, we know we do what? Sacred covenant. So I want you to put your focus, your mind, and your heart into this as we say it together. Okay? Okay. There is only one life. That life is God. This life is God. This life is my life now. And knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions. Because I know that my highest purpose is to glorify God, I therefore know that I am the revelation of God as wisdom. I further know that I am the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God. For it is written, wisdom comes with the ability to be still. Stop a minute and take that in. That is key. Let stillness direct your words and actions. Wisdom expresses through love. It is pure, peaceful, compassionate, and produces a harvest of good deeds. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see myself as an expression of divine love in action. I now intend to experience myself in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing this truth about myself. I am inspired to live as love and the expression of wisdom. Stop a moment. Take a deep breath. And let's say that one more time. I am inspired to live as love in the expression of wisdom. I am awakening the divine knowingness within me. I am creating and holding a sacred container for healing. I am demonstrating compassion through generous service in our greater community. I am studying, teaching, exemplifying oneness through the mysticism of various traditions. I am engaging spiritual activism that empowers social upliftment towards the common good. As I now accept the highest expression of my life, I know that I am revealed in a way that glorifies God and serves the highest and greatest good of all who are touched by my presence. I am grateful. God is gracious. Amen.
I just wanted to thank practitioner Brenda King Randall for making this sacred covenant real for you again. My name is Reverend Celeste Frazier, and I am the spiritual leader of East Bay Church of Religious Science. And I We welcome you here today. I want to say a couple of things too about the Sacred Covenant. This is our roadmap for being with each other. This is something that is understandable. It's not etheric with a lot of words that we have yet to understand in our classes, but it is something that we want to embody. Glorifying God, being still, standing in agreement with our beloved community, live as love, as the expression of wisdom, awakening the divine knowingness. All of these things are what it means to be living spiritually. And as a center for spiritual living, that is ours to be. And we become that beacon, we become that light that permeates and penetrates anything unlike light. Got it? Yes. Good. Welcome, 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 welcome here this morning. I am so glad that you are here. I want you to know that I identify in the pronouns she, her, and hers. For those whose identity is not as clear as others in terms of any transition, in terms of any other choices that they are embarking on making. And I want you to know that there is no place that you come from where you are not welcome here. Amen. So thank you for being here. I'm going to hand this back over. Before I do so, I want to welcome anyone who is here for the first time. Please stand so that we may confer a blessing upon you. New visitors, welcome. And so we raise our hands in your direction, and the congregation repeats after me. Welcome to East Bay.
Welcome to East Bay.
We know who you are.
We know who you are.
You are an individualized expression of love, intelligence, and beauty.
You are an individualized expression of love, intelligence, and beauty.
You are a special way that God is happening on this planet.
You are a special way that God is happening on this planet.
I thank God for you.
I thank God for you.
Welcome to the East Bay Church of Religious Science.
Welcome to the East Bay Church of Religious Science.
Let's take this seat.
How about we greet each other?
Thanks for, I connect, all the past 3 Sundays. Thank you for doing that.
And now we'll hear from Len Daniels on community opportunities.
So wonderful to see Reverend Anthony. So first-time visitors, you have to skip the one today. Please come to the tape room next to the hospitality table after service to get a free CD and or DVD copy of today's service. It's another way for us to say welcome to East Bay. Thank you for your presence here. Get ready to smile. Amazon Smile, that is. It's Amazon Sunday today, and that means you can request a portion of your purchase to benefit East Bay. Now, isn't that something to smile about? And actually, you can do that anytime you purchase anything from Amazon. You can just request, go to the page, request to put East Bay in, and you'll get a percentage of what you purchase going back to East Bay. But today is a special day because it's Amazon Sunday. So come to the bookstore after service today and make all of your Amazon purchases here. That way we can assist you with the process and we can receive your order here if you like. We sure appreciate your support to East Bay in this way. Monthly community visioning. Reverend Celeste has moved the monthly community visioning meeting to first Sunday, which is today. From 1 to 2:30, please join Reverend Celeste and be available to download God's vision for the East Bay community. All are welcome. So from 1 to 2:30 today. Youth and Family Ministry. If anyone is interested in working with the youth, please see Reverend Willa, who I guess he's back with the youth now, to get information for our live scan certification. The church will pay for it if you are serious about working with our youth and or teens. With the teen church revamp in September, now is the time to do so. Anyone working with the youth is legally required to have live scan certification. All certification needs to be completed by August. Thanks for supporting our youth. They are precious to our church, our lives, and our spirit. Meetings this week. There is a daily meditation here in the sanctuary on Tuesday through Friday from 12:30 to 1 p.m. It's free. So come on out and take part in our daily meditation here at East Bay. Toastmasters meet on Monday, August 6th from 7 to 8 p.m. in the overflow room. And the Beacon of Light Prison Ministry meets Wednesday, August 8th from 4 to 5:30, also in the overflow room. Wednesday night service. We welcome you to the new Wednesday night Healing Revealing service. Give yourself the lift that you need to get through every week. Reverend Celeste or our ministers and practitioners will be there for you to offer you light in the midst of any seeming darkness. Meditation is 6:15. Service is at 6:30. Blast your work with love. Champion is going to tell us about that.
Good morning. Thank you, Lynn. My name's Champion Fleming, and I'm super happy to be back at East Bay. I've been here all weekend. I was here Friday night. We showed White Like Me. We had 25 people turn out. We had a really rich, deep conversation and lots of love and hugging. It was great. And last night I was here for banter. Who was here for banter? Awesome. And boy, did Vanessa and the choir show out last night. It was amazing. And so I'm happy to be here for service, and I'm happy to say that I'm teaching a class this Thursday night. It's called Blast Your Work Life with Love. And it came out of my own need. I was standing in the middle of my work life, which had completely fallen apart. And I was thinking, what has gone on? My business is completely shriveled up to nothing. What am I going to do? And so I started what we do, we practice. And I started practicing at a deeper level than maybe I ever have. And what happened was I had to cancel the July version of the class because I got a new job. And I had a meeting on that Thursday night in July that I was supposed to teach the class. So I blasted my work life with love, and I'm happy to say that I have this great new job. And so the class, it's going to draw from the work of Napoleon Hill and Marianne Williamson, and it's going to remind us how powerful we are in the workplace. Whether we work for ourselves, we work for an organization or a company, or if we're retired, we can even use this in whatever the work that it is we're doing. And if you have a boss that feels like a mountain in your way, we're going to move him or her with this work. If you have a coworker that's just getting on your last nerve, we're going to move them with this work. So it's this Thursday night, 6:30 to 9:30. You're going to leave with some practices that you can use in your work life, and it's going to be fun. So join us. Thank you.
Thanks, President. And Gabriel is going to talk about the immigration seminar coming up.
Buenos días. Good morning, my name is Gabriel Ramos. I'm the director of the Latino Ministry, and we'll be having an event this Thursday. We held this last year. It's an informational event put on by a lawyer who's volunteering her time to give information in general about the various ways that you can obtain legal status in this country, but more specifically about the changes that are made in asylum laws. Para los que no entienden inglés, este jueves vamos a tener un evento donde vamos a estar dando información sobre las maneras que puede uno obtener sus papeles aquí legalmente en este país, y particularmente los cambios que han hecho en las leyes de asilo. Quiero que entiendan que lo hacemos no porque somos abogados o somos una iglesia que se enfoca en cosas, temas legales, pero somos una iglesia que nos enfocamos en saber que hay maneras de superar, que las leyes, las situaciones no tienen que dominar nuestras vidas. What I said was that the focus of this as a church isn't because we're a legal center. We're a center that believes that there is a way and there is always something that allows us to rise higher than the current circumstances. So come, be informed. I believe you have flyers, and if you don't, you can hunt them down. Share them. These are people's lives. And recently we've been disturbed by the fact that parents and children have been separated in border. But know that this has been happening for years. When a father, when a mother is deported from this country, and their children were born here, they're separated. It's been happening for years. And you just sharing this information with them could help that not happen. Thank you.
That completes the announcements for today. Thank you.
Well, we come to that part of our service that I always love. We have quite a treat today. I'm kind of watching them line up. So, I want to introduce Sharon Henderson and the Reflections and the Women's Choir.
Well,
song. I did not expect it was going to totally mess me up. I'm just grateful that God also didn't allow me enough time to put on mascara this morning. Or else it would be a messy puddle before you. I wasn't trying to turn us into a sanctified church this morning. But you need to know who God is. God is my protection. That's my safety. God is the joy and strength of my life. Ooh, God is the light of my darkness. It's that wisdom when I forget who I am. You know, in the Sacred Covenant it says wisdom and love. And that's wisdom. In metaphysical Bible, wisdom is Joseph and Mary is love, and wisdom and love together raised our Christhood. And so we get to step continuously in the light and love of our being that King Randall was given to us from the Science of Mind magazine. You see, God is my all in all. There's nothing that I am that isn't God. No part of my life that isn't God. God is my joy in the times of sorrow. Oh my goodness. That even makes me appreciate the joy even more. You know, we have the yin and the yang, we have the darkness and the light, we have the sun and the moon, we have these different times that we can know that there is no realm, no spectrum in which God is missing. Just go look at Psalm 39, it'll tell you what I'm talking about. She promised to leave me. She promised to keep me, never to leave me. God is awesome. And then proceeded with something woke me up this morning. You know, how many times have you awakened and just got on with your day? And then when you sit here today and you hear something woke me up this morning, wow. How many thousands of mornings did God wake you up? You know? And how many times did you acknowledge that? And the accumulation has brought us here. They were singing that part about something dried my tears this morning. What were you doing crying in the first place? You must have been listening to that inner critic inside your head. Did you get your copy of The Untethered Soul yet? Yes. That's the book of the month. If not, you better get it. It will not last long. I'm doing an MP3 series on it as well, but I'll talk to y'all more about that next week. In the book, Michael Singer says, he asked how you would feel if someone outside really started talking to you the way that your inner voice does. If you had to hang out with someone who talked like your neurotic inner voice did, would you be able to tolerate them for a day, an hour? If you had a relationship coach who talked like your inner roommate, would you fire them? The advice and analysis being totally wrong. When you observe yourself, you may realize your problem all your life has been that inner critic. You never even hold it responsible for the trouble it causes. You won't stop it until you want to. I remember being in Holmes Institute and we were exposed to this process where you can make an appointment with your inner critic and you can have meet that appointment at the time that you designated and just sit there and be with that, you know, and ask the questions about what it is, and then you can allow yourself to just take that and put it where it needs to be put, take from it that observation of how you've been talking to yourself, take from it that parts of you that need to be loved, take from it how you need to be in relationship with yourself, take that from it because it is not serving you. And so in order for you to get rid of it, you must acknowledge it, hear it out, and then kick it to the curb. Now, ask your neighbor, are you ready to be free of the mental melodrama? Okay, I think we all know the answer to that one. But perhaps it's never been posed to you in quite that way. The way that you can be free of the mental melodrama is to set the direction of your life when you are clear. I don't know about you, but my clearest times are when I'm in spiritual practice. Visioning is the clearest practice I know. To free yourself, you must commit yourself to the inner work of freedom. The next clearest practice I know is treatment. Because when I pray from spirit, I discover what's really going on. Because the nature of God is in everyone. Every individual partakes in the nature of universal wholeness, and operating from that wholeness is God. That's from Ernest Holmes. Now, since I partake in the nature of the divine being, that makes me divine. God wants us to understand that there are unchanging laws. The laws, too, are an aspect of God. And so ignorance of the laws bind us. There are many spiritual laws that are functioning and that we are living in and with, but unless and until we can acknowledge them, we will not be freed up to receive the bountiful benefits that they have to offer us. Not from the place of your mental melodrama, not from the place of any of that inner critic dialogue, but from the place of unconditional love. From the space of that grace that we talked about when we invited Holy Spirit to enter this place. To know that that is the wondrous life that we get to live as we choose. And so, when intelligence, that is divine intelligence, not how smart you think you are, but divine intelligence, that knowing, that wisdom, that omniscience, that is what I'm talking about. When that works with universal law, the key to the storehouse of good is unlocked. You see how that is? The law is simply allowing. So get out of the way and trust the universe. That will bring you your happiness, your prosperity, and your well-being. The Bible says, lean not into your own understanding. That's why we got to lean into the mind of God. And so, you know, as a divine being, we are aware that God reacts to us according to our belief in it. If God is not even part of the equation, then how in the world is God going to bring you your highest and best good when you're not even acknowledging it? God is available to each of us. It's no respecter of persons. And our soul will never change or violate its own nature. Our soul is eternal. That's why we vision, so we can listen to the nature of our soul. Denying the soul won't change it. Affirming the soul won't change it. It just is. But it will change us from acting like we don't know our divine nature to living in and as divine beings. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Your soul is the only part that you need to pay attention to, because it is your transforming energy that allows you to move from where you were to where you will be. And the isness, the presence, the availability that we have to it is what brings us into an enlightenment, into an expanded view, into a knowingness that no one could ever shake. Ernest Holmes says, you know, I of myself do nothing. See, I am the result of evolution. I had to have a principle from which to unfold. Since I am intelligent, I must have evolved from an intelligent cause. I of myself do nothing. I hear myself sometimes, and every time I think, dang, Celeste, you're smart, I remember I'm stupid, but the God in me is brilliant. See, I know God by studying people, not the dumb stuff. Never mind when people are doing something loving and kind and it makes someone smile and you know, well, when people are doing something loving and kind and it makes someone smile and feel good, I know it's God. When people are being manipulative and hiding, that's not expressing God. That's in the shadows of fear, trying to be something when it's nothing all along. Because God needs to reveal Himself through us. You're never going to have a God sighting unless you make God welcome in your life. Yes. As long as you are recognizing yourself as spirit, self-knowingness, and recognizing God as law and action, seeing God show up and show out, and as long as you can see the light of God in the smile of someone, or see the beauty of God in the twinkling in someone's eye, or the warmth of their gestures, you will know to whom we have prayed and whom we have adored. Otherwise, you're just faking it till you make it. Ernest Holmes says, creation is the result of Spirit's creativity. There is no doubt in my mind in the least that God is creativity, or else nothing would be here. James Cleveland didn't write God is without God. Brenda Lee Yeager didn't write something woke me up this morning without God. I know Brenda. I know Brenda's consciousness. It's already known. You didn't create your children by yourself. You didn't create that meal, that relationship, that wardrobe, that anything without the guidance of the One. As a creative being, I know this. It took me a while to figure out just how awesome God is. Don't let it take you long. Don't let it take you another millisecond. You already know. God will give from itself to itself as itself eternally. That's how awesome God is. I invite you to let something wake you up. I already know something did. Unless you're dead, I know something today awakened you. It might have been the song. Something got your attention. But please do not let the inner roommate of confusion put you back to sleep. Do not let that inner doubter delay your good or get you in trouble. You ready to be free of the mental melodrama? I know it. I invite you to vision so that you can set the direction of your life clearly. I invite you to commit to the inner work of freedom. I invite you to seek the nature of God in yourself. I invite you to seek the nature of God everywhere. Then celebrate your divine beingness. Namaste. As the prayer box comes up, let's get centered in the awareness of the I am. God only God. Yes. Everything that has life says yes to the presence of God. And we allow God to have its full sway as wholeness, perfection, completeness. We allow God to have its full sway as peace, love, joy. We allow God to have its full sway as abundance, prosperity. We allow God to have its full sway as love and compassion, understanding and support and supply. Oh, I know whatever has been placed in this box is already done. For the intention was to an act of God. And the intention and the consciousness that prayed over every prayer request too was God. And any prayer request that comes in here now or in the course of this day or this week, I know that each too is done in the mind of God. For we are each in community to support the divine idea that is for the highest and best of all concerned. We are here in community to have a collective consciousness of the all good. We don't have to worry about what's going on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue because we know what's going on in 4130 Telegraph Avenue. We are here to broadcast love in the greatest way that we've ever done before because we know love from the inside out. And the inside becomes so full of the love of God and the love of one another that it just oozes out and overflows all over the place. And this vibration lifts the planet as we continue to stand in the vision of being a place of empowerment for the entire planet. We are here to say yes to the allness of God, to the beautiful love of God, to the grace of any undeserving moment that we may stumble into. For there too is God lifting us up and awakening us to a greater way of seeing and therefore a greater way of being. Oh, I know that God is always active. It is always power-filled. It is always magnificently brilliant. Oh, I give thanks for this truth, for I know it is the very knowing of this that allows me to awaken, to set foot on that path of divine glory and to divine destiny. Not towards the end of my life, but towards a greater expression of who I truly am. I give thanks for it all. I give thanks for this community that says yes to the presence of God. That says yes to the presence of love. That says yes to life in all its expressions. This says yes, yes, God. In gratitude, I release this word and I let it be. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Thank you, practitioners, for standing with me in consciousness through that prayer time. Let's move now into our gracious giving opportunity. Oh, it's so great to have a way to say, I acknowledge the presence of God. You might want to write a check. You might want to put some cash in an envelope. You might want to text 50-155 and put in East Bay. Or if you've already texted to tithe before, then just put in 50-155 and whatever the amount is that you would like to give today. You can go to the kiosk. You can give your tithe or your donation there, your offering, whatever it is. Bless the basket as it comes to you. And know that there are so many ways that God is supporting you. Oh, I think we're almost ready. If not ready, we even have our class schedule ready and online. We are moving into a greater understanding of who we are together as a community. If you have your pledge in mind that you want to participate in for the next year, then allow yourself to ask that usher for a pledge form. Allow yourself to absolutely be available to how you can contribute to this beloved community idea known as East Bay Church. Oh, let's give thanks and praise for our ability to give this morning. Mother, Father God, infinite spirit truth. I know that there is a flow that is infinite and that I am participating in the flow of that good now. I know that the law of circulation is about giving and receiving. And as an active participant, I freely give as I freely receive. Oh, I know I can't be God-given, but I do know that I can absolutely allow myself to stretch further than I have before so that I can pretend like I am as great as God in the best way that I can. And that is by giving of myself, giving of my time, my tithes, my talents. I give thanks for the capacity to be an individualized expression of that which gives and to receive as a child of God. In gratitude for this truth, I lovingly release this word to the law and I let it be. And so it is. Amen. As the ushers come forward, please stay in that frame of mind. Participate in paying our bills, keeping the lights on, the doors open, the building secure. God, thank you for allowing us to be able to prepare our materials for our classes, to be able to be available for our staff to support us in all that we need to do. For the phones and all of the equipment that we use. Thank you, God, for making a way. How grateful we are to participate in this support. And in gratitude for all of it, spoken and unspoken, I lovingly release this word and I let it be. And so it is. Amen.
East Bay. So as I support the youth and learn from the youth, I'm always grateful. I want to first acknowledge our snack preparers who came in early, Solomon and Zara. Let's give them a hand. Excellent. Now I'd like for Zara to tell us what our affirmation is today.
I am kind, I am loving.
Thank you, Zara. Today we learned spiritual mind treatment, and I would like for Jalen to tell us one of the first steps of spiritual mind treatment. No cheating, Jalen. Go ahead.
The first step is recognition.
What's that? What's that?
God is everywhere.
Hey. Great. Sorry. What's the second step?
Oh, the second step was unification. And then, I am one with God.
Third, Quincy.
The third step is declaration.
Yes.
God takes all my needs.
The fourth one is Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful.
So number 5, we're all going to say it together. What's number 5? Release. Let go. Give it to God. Okay, let's ask our junior ladies. Do you guys have anything you want to add to today's lesson?
We make cause for the next union.
For the next service? Is that what you meant? Okay. Anybody else want to add anything? Reverend William. Sorry. Maria, what you want to add? You got something you want to add, Maria? You remember the I am loving, I am kind? You want to share that? Okay, sing it. I am loving.
I am kind.
Wow, what a gift and a blessing it is. Thank you, Lola, for showing up. Thank you all for your yes. I shared with the youth the powerfulness of the I am statement. And how sometimes I catch myself, like last night at 1 o'clock, when I was amped from that beautiful evening and tired at the same time. I was saying I am tired. I'm like, oh, no. I feel tired, which is different. It's different. And there was one point many, many years ago, my kids and I, we created this 5-step song. We used to sing it. God is everywhere. I am one with God. God takes care of all my needs. And I'm very thankful. And I give it all to God. And one day I was having a rough day driving with the 3 kids in their car seats in the car, and I was crying about something. My daughter started singing that song. So, yeah. And I also just want to say quickly, in 2 weeks on the 19th of August, during and after service, our youth will be putting on a lemonade stand to help benefit the youth who have been separated from their parents. We're going to be doing a bake sale. You can bring your baked goods, drop them off at the kitchen. We'll be selling popcorn because that seems to sell really well. Y'all like our popcorn. And lemonade. So please know that that's coming, and we'll tell you more later on. Thank you so much for being in service to us.
Thank you, Reverend Willa, Lola, and our youth. I think we might have to get Reverend Willa in the women's choir. So if you haven't noticed, we are being a point of empowerment with the work that we're doing around the immigration and all of that that has been delivered to us by the Commander-in-Chief and his administration. So we are being a light when the darkness attempts to overcome us. So let's stand now and affirm who we are through our benediction. Mother, Father God, light, love, peace, joy, freedom, expansion, wisdom, truth, the allness, the I am that I am, the I am that we all are, the I am that says yes to all that God is and steps out from that place of knowing that we are loved, that we are light. We shine the love in every direction that we go, including right here in our own house. And we move into our visioning session about the unfolding of East Bay with that wondrous future that has been spoken of in prayer. I know that we too go to our respective places, and even as we step foot into the parking lot, we continue to shine the light if we're not leaving as fast as we would like to. And whatever comes across our path this week, we shine the light of love in that direction. For it is only the light that can deliver us where we belong, into joy, into peace, and more love. I give thanks for it all. I embrace it all. And now I release it all. For I know it is done in the mind of God. We affirm this together by saying, and so it is.